on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day today. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency still having a beautiful start to their week. Bitcoin did try to get above $9,800. We couldn't quite pull it off yesterday. However, we did in fact break out of the descending wedge. So short term, this is showing that the bulls are still in control. We are still following a nice upwards trajectory. However, you and I both know that it is the last Friday of the month upcoming. We have $1 billion worth of options to expire. We know things can get very crazy on the last Friday of the month, so I do want to talk about that. Also, the fact that a lot of people are saying that Bitcoin is still sort of emulating what's happening in traditional stocks. Now, Mike Novogratz actually came out and gives his opinion on that. Also, the fact that we have SEC, over at the SEC, Jay Clayton, he's actually looking to step down and be replaced. So is this bullish for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? Well, that's not only the big thing I want to talk about today. What I really want to go into is the fact that we have now the opportunity to buy Bitcoin at over 20,000 retail stores in America. And no, I'm not talking about the PayPal news. This is something totally different, although I do want to talk about PayPal because a lot of people are saying it could be FUD, could be fake news. Well, I'm actually going to show you some evidence why it actually could be true that PayPal and Venmo do end up rolling out those services in the next 3 months. And that is exactly what I want to talk about today. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, consider it. Oh, and today we're going to give away the Ledger Nano S because honestly, it completely slipped my mind yesterday. So if you commented yesterday, you do have another opportunity to get in. Oh, and one more thing. We have one of the big four accounting firms, KPMG. They are also rolling out crypto services to institutional investors. So lots of things going on today. Stick around to the end of the video. We have lots of news for you today. Without further ado, let's dive in. Having a look right here, you guys can see that yes, we did break out of the falling wedge. We also got above both of the major resistances from the wick and the candle. Now keep in mind, this is short term. This is on the 4 hour, and this is only starting from the beginning of June. Obviously, we have to zoom out to really see where we are here. Now, having a look right here, you do notice that on CME futures, we have respected this nice trend where it was resistance back at the end of April. And having a look right here, there is the possibility for Bitcoin to sort of bounce around right here in this little triangle with a look for a breakout at around June 26th. We are going to hit some major resistance at around the $9,800 level. If Bitcoin is not able to break out of the $9,800 ceiling, then we are going to come down and retest this level right here where Bitcoin did have the bounces. So you may see Bitcoin go down to the low 9,000s again. That is a possibility, but we are keeping our eyes on the upwards trajectory because as you can see right here, we are still above the 50 moving average and we do look like we want the 100 to move above the 200 moving average for our second golden cross. Okay, now keep in mind, in the past, we have seen golden cross fakeouts. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have confirmation on this golden cross and then Bitcoin instantly comes down and retests 9,200. We have seen that time and time again. So don't get fooled this time, guys. But I do want to point out the fact that we have on balance volume over here closing bullish above the line and testing the $9,600 area. This is from Income Sharks, by the way. He says, now we have to see what kind of candle we can close. Well, we did actually close a daily candle above that. So as you can see, he basically says, as long as we can hold above the $9,000 level, we still have this super trend holding. We are above the OBV and we did have the daily close above that level. In fact, we closed at around 9,660. Now, currently we are on the teetering point right now, but the one thing I want to point out is not only do we have the massive resistance dating all the way back to the all-time high of 2017, but if we just go back to this Bitcoin pump where we got up to 10,500 back in mid-February 13th and 14th, you could see right here, if we take that level over here, we got rejected here 2 times. We got rejected here almost for an entire week. We finally broke out on June 1st, but we were stomped out by the major resistance. We tried again on June 10th and got held back. And then guys, literally just yesterday, we were held back again. So you can kind of see that having a look right here, this is sort of acting as a major resistance for Bitcoin. The bulls really have to come through with that momentum and push us upwards, or else it does look like, I don't even want to say it, but we're probably going to go sideways for maybe even another week if we can't have the big move that we're looking for. Now, keep in mind, this is according to Ki Young Ju. He says, buy Bitcoin when whales send Bitcoin out of exchanges. The bull market usually starts 4 months after the exchange average withdrawal hits yearly highs. And, well, we've seen more and more and more Bitcoin getting pulled off of the exchanges as the hodlers are really deciding, you know what? I'm just going to sit back. I'm just going to hold this for the long haul. And that could be one key indicator. But like I said, some people are saying, yeah, but Bitcoin's not correlated. It's not a safe haven asset. It's just doing what traditional stocks are doing, right? In fact, you can see right here, even Plan B points out that it's basically responded exactly almost to the S&P. You can see right here, he points out the U.S. anti-China measures. The Fed wants to end QE, taper the tantrum. Then we have the virus plus massive QE. And basically every one of these major geopolitical sort of issues, we had Bitcoin basically copying exactly what was going on. Actually, in a few cases, Bitcoin moved first. Interesting. But for the most part, the markets have moved in tandem. Now, Mike Novogratz was actually over on CNBC, and they did ask him his opinion, number one, on the fact of what he thought about Jay Clayton leaving the SEC. He actually thinks this is good since he kind of had somewhat of an anti-crypto stance, right? But after that, they asked him his thoughts on the correlation of Bitcoin and stocks, and I just want to play that part of the interview really quick, and yeah, then we're going to talk about it.
One more question, Mike, and it's on the value of Bitcoin. So, if I told you, hey, there's going to be a national pandemic, people can't get access to cash, literally, among other things, you think it'd be the perfect environment for Bitcoin to spike, but it didn't. I mean, it's kind of treaded water. It sold off a little when the market was weak. Most people see this as a disappointment. I wonder if Bitcoin shouldn't be stable in value because that was maybe part of the attraction for use more generally. Listen, what does it all say to you?
I don't think Bitcoin is going to be used as our payment currency, certainly in the United States, right? The dollar is stable still. Why are people buying Bitcoin now? They're buying it for the same reason they're buying gold. Gold's on the highs. Bitcoin has come from, it sold off to 5,000. It's back to almost 10,000 because people worry that the Fed and the Treasury are printing and buying too many dollars, right? We've got this unholy alliance between huge fiscal stimulus by the Treasury and the Fed financing the whole thing. And when you keep putting more and more dollars in the system, the value of the dollar could go down. And so the possibility of a big dollar devaluation it's higher. It's not a base case, but it's certainly higher. And so people are using Bitcoin as a hedge to that.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that. We're seeing that with adoption slowly but surely. And so it will surprise me if we don't take out 10,000 soon. And after that, you're going to see 14,000 and then 20,000.
So almost in the same vein of how you're not going to go to the store and shave some gold off on the counter, right? You're not most likely going to be paying for sticks of gum with Bitcoin, but what you are going to be doing is using Bitcoin as a hedge against the inevitable super inflation of the dollar and most of other fiat currencies globally, as well as also probably down the road, we'll have lots of second layer solutions that work and things like that. But basically, that's his take on it. Now, you let me know what you think about that below, but we have to admit it has been pretty much kind of correlated with what's been going on. I am waiting for that ultimate asymmetric property to kick in, but like we said, it does take some time between when the Bitcoin halving happens to usually when we have that blast off. It could be 12 to 18 months, right? Before we move on super quick, speaking of buying cryptocurrency, the PayPal news, I just want to point out that actually over on ByBit, you guys will notice in your assets, you have this button now that says buy crypto, and you can actually straight up buy Bitcoin and Ether now using multiple different fiat currencies. You can see right here. So yeah, if you guys are using ByBit, check that out. Also, if you haven't checked out my tutorial on how to use ByBit, definitely not for beginners, but if you're interested, I will drop that above. But moving on to buying and selling cryptocurrencies, we did have the PayPal news that came out yesterday. Lots of speculation. Is it a rumor? Is it FUD? Is it true? Well, there are lots of opinions on it. We actually have Masari saying that this news immediately broadens crypto's potential investor base by an order of magnitude. They say PayPal has more than 300 million users worldwide, like Paul Tudor Jones stated in his May letter, bull markets are built on an ever expanding universe of buyers. Now, not everybody agrees on this. You can see Stephen Livera says the PayPal Bitcoin news is only bullish if you think it results in more self-custodied Bitcoin. If it's just numbers on a screen, but still the same government regulations and controls, what's bullish about that? But the reality is as much as you and I want everyone to be their own bank, we want everyone to hold their own private keys, the truth is most people are just not interested. Like Matt Case points out, they're too busy, inept, or lazy, and self-custody is something they cannot handle. Most people lose their passwords. They call their, bank or whatever up, they reset their passwords. What are you gonna do when you lose your, private keys? That's it, right? He says, why does Bank of America hold the most patents for blockchain custody? I love some CNBC, so let's reference them for the facts, not the FUD, okay? Now, if we move on over here, Jimmy Song, he says PayPal is going to allow people to buy Bitcoin, but PayPal is the company that froze the WikiLeaks account and put Bitcoin on the map back in 2010. It only took a decade for them to come back. And Jesse Powell, who just recently came out and said that massive people are now signing up for, Kraken and other exchanges, he says that it would be amazing for adoption. However, don't expect them to change their policies on account closures. If they think you're doing something nefarious, they could still shut you down. Remember, not your keys, not your coins. Moving on to some other perspectives, and then we're going to get into why I think the news could actually be true. But Cole Peterson, he says, the PayPal news shows that Bitcoin is gaining adoption as currency. Paul Tudor Jones shows that Bitcoin is gaining adoption as a safe haven asset. 325 million people are about to have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin. If that isn't bullish, I don't know what is. And you want to hear a crazy statistic? So CryptoLark, or Lark Davis, as he's now going by his real name, he says there is not enough Bitcoin for each PayPal user to have 0.05 BTC. Let that sink in. 21 million Bitcoin, 325 million people using Coinbase. And also, I think he's being generous. Don't forget that we do have between 3 and 4 million potentially lost forever. Plus, we have the fact that Satoshi has his coins. Yeah, that number could probably be a lot lower. Here is why, though, the rumors could be true. They could be true, okay? Now, we have seen that both of the companies declined to comment. Now, they didn't say no. They said they're declining to comment. However, don't forget that at the beginning of 2020, PayPal had posted job openings to ramp up its new blockchain research group. They posted 8 engineering positions, 4 in San Jose and 4 in Singapore. Now, according to PayPal's chief technology officer, in an interview with CoinDesk earlier this year, they said that the company wanted to, and this is a quote, by the way, they wanted its own perspective and view on blockchain technology itself to see how it can help contribute to the concept of creating an open digital payment platform that can serve everybody. And continuing, they also said, we are a strong believer in the potential of blockchain. The digitization of currency is only a matter of when, not if. So, could the rumors be blown out of proportion? Maybe it's not going to roll out in the next 3 months, but I highly believe that we are going to see a product sooner than later coming out from PayPal or Venmo or both, and just showing the fact that they're hiring jobs for blockchain research. Why would they hire that if they weren't looking into it? So that's my take on it. Could it be a rumor? Could it be blown out of proportion? Possibly. Ultimately, I do believe that we will see something get rolled out in the future. So that's my take on it. But something we can use right now today, this is absolutely amazing news. So this comes from Liberty X. They're saying consumers can now purchase Bitcoin using this app at 20,000 retail locations across the US, including major convenience stores and pharmacy chains like 7-Eleven, CVS, Rite Aid. I have all of those by my house, by the way, which is getting me pretty excited. So basically, according to Chris Yim, the co-founder, he says Bitcoin is one of the most exciting innovations over the last decade, but adoption has been limited by trust and accessibility. He says we want to expand our footprint so that anyone can buy Bitcoin at familiar locations they drive or walk by, and now he says everyone can. And, only within a few miles walk, you can own some Bitcoin, go to your local store. Now, a little bit of a history on these guys. They launched America's first Bitcoin ATM in 2014. 4 years later, they announced the first traditional ATM integration. And today, now they have an app that you can use to buy at 20,000 different locations. So you can see right here, basically they have this little thing. You download the app, you sign up for a free account, you start your purchase, enter your Bitcoin address, you go to one of the locations that offers it, you scan the barcode the cashier scans the barcode. You give him an amount, I guess, between 20 and 50. Tap convert to Bitcoin, and yeah, that's it. You have your Bitcoin. So pretty amazing, super convenient, really easy. And yeah, I mean, the cashier doesn't do anything different. He just takes his gun, scans a barcode. The rest is all done through the app. And then, you give him the money and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself some Bitcoin. So there you go. That's some real adoption. So if you're hung up on yesterday's PayPal news, here you go. This is legit. This is real. Although currently there is a waiting list, just pointing that out for that. But even bigger news, I don't know if this is bigger news, but it's equally as big. We have the Big Four accounting firm KPMG launching tools to help institutional cryptocurrency investors. Once again, if there wasn't a demand for it, why would they be doing this? So basically, in a recent announcement, they presented what's known as KPMG Chain Fusion. So what they're doing is trying to help the management of crypto and traditional assets over public and private blockchain networks for institutional clients. So Chain Fusion, basically, it leverages a structured informational model to combine data from blockchain and traditional systems. It will support the necessary analytics for business, risk, and compliance objectives. It's going to help in the deployment and integration of core custody capabilities such as multi-party computational crypto asset wallets and transaction monitoring for anti-money laundering. But here's the thing. Recently, we have seen a lot of institutional interest on the rise, not just clearly from what we're seeing KPMG doing. We had Fidelity Investments. They came out and said that about 36% of institutional investors have exposure to Bitcoin or other types of cryptocurrencies. And we also saw Coinbase, whether you like them or not, they strengthened their institutional focus by recently acquiring one of the leading cryptocurrency brokerage firms, Tagomi. So yeah, lots of big news out here in the crypto space. And I just want to end on a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. And this is a recent tweet. He says, real money is created when people produce. For example, if you bake cookies and sell them, you create real money. When people are paid to do nothing, your cookie money is stolen. When Fed prints trillions, Fed saves friends, screws everyone, stop thieves, save gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I'm actually going to retweet this. I do like a good Robert Kiyosaki tweet. But yeah, I think on that note, we're going to end, guys. So that is it for me today. I do have to give away the Ledger Nano S because I totally forgot yesterday. But hey, you guys got an extra couple videos in. You could have commented yesterday and won. So we do have 6 videos. So we do have to do 1 out of 6. Let's see what video that was. Video number 3. So 1, 2, 3. That is Bitcoin perfect buy zone. So yeah, let's copy this. Come over here to raffle dash. Enter this. All right, guys, drum roll please for the Ledger Nano S. Usman Chael, I probably pronounced that wrong. Sorry, buddy. I'm really happy coming across HackerX, just a transaction. Oh, okay, so looks like this is a spam comment. Let's try this again. Try to get all those spam comments. Another dip, probably. Well, you don't have to mention the Ledger to win. So OptiX, you are the winner. Did we get a dip since then? I don't know. We might have got a little dip. Not too sure. Mostly sideways action. But yeah, so OptiX, you do have 24 hours to hit me up. You are the winner of the Ledger. Either hit me up in my official channel or my Telegram. If I don't hear from you tomorrow, we're going to give the Ledger away to somebody else. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. My name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.